some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah, day.
Oh, good Lord. As some of you who are perceptive may have noticed, this is not Stupid O'Clock, and those were not the right credits. Joe Dog, in his infinite lack of wisdom, has totally screwed up all the settings in here. And I can no longer access my own opening and closing stuff. I can't access my own brand. And I may as well just go ahead and pay for my own account to do this show totally independent of Stupid O'Clock and let Joe Dog Sinker swim on his own. I mean, seriously. Not even now. I mean, I click on the button, I go to Last Man Standing, and it refuses to change from Stupid O'Clock. That's all the options I have. Which means when we end the show, it's going to end with High Flight, which is not the way I end my show. And I'm going back to the comments at least, and I can't even see those. It's like I'm watching somebody else's channel. I can't even see mine on my own channel on the YouTube. So, God, no bedtime story. That makes me sad, Donna. Does it really? I mean, seriously, we've had 4 years of that right now. So, in any case, I still have ops. So, here's Joe and Donna, and oh dear, I don't know what the man did, but this is just.
Well, we're here. I'm wearing my seasonal shirt. Santa fell off the sleigh. He's down in the snowbank, and it says "Help! I'm falling and I can't get up."
I have one that is basically Rudolph sitting in an armchair in a living room going, yeah, they used to laugh and call me names. And trophies of the other reindeer on the wall behind him. I wore that to work one time, and people are going, that may be violating the anti-violence policy, and I'm going, what? There's
It's a hunting thing.
there's no violence. You've got people that take vacations for deer season. Excuse me.
Hmm.
Um, well, Thesis is with us, and Dingo Star is with us. Yeah, Thesis.
Where are you, Susan?
Joe Dog been acting up again. Um, I'm I may have to call his Donna and say, "Go whoop him." Um,
He might enjoy that. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's true.
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. His Donna would definitely be using a hot frying pan,
Or a cream
and
pie.
oh, that's just in public. Hot frying pan is private. Um, Hello, Dingo Star. I do not remember seeing you before, but welcome to the show.
He's got his
Um,
pop ready.
Hmm.
Nobody else has come in, so ooh,
Yes.
okay. Uh, I've been taking some new sinus medication, and yes, my sinuses are not dripping at the moment, but for a few seconds, but only for a few seconds at a time, my vision goes wee. I'm going, "Ooh, did I just cross another damn dimension? How it have they changed the stoplights? That's all I want to know." Um,
Hi, MJ.
Mike
Hey, Mike
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
good to have you around. Yes,
Oh,
indeed. Up
you mentioned
early
something
thanks to
about
a plugged up nose and a fever. Yes, I was just talking about the same thing.
you mentioned your sinuses, Dan, and it made my nose tickle. And I just sneezed.
Way too early. You are, let's see,
Hang on.
6 hours ahead of us or seven? I can't remember. I know England is usually 4 to 5, depending on whether or not
A
they're on
quarter to
daylight savings.
5 in Amsterdam.
Oh my God.
Oof.
Everybody's getting sick.
Well, it's winter.
Mm,
Drink more orange juice. Um,
some of us can't have orange juice.
441 there. Oh my God. He is 6 hours ahead of us.
Mhm.
Um, well, that just means you get to open your Christmas present 6 hours early. Um,
Okay, I'm like, I have 7 hours, but then again, I'm an hour behind you, so
Yep.
yes,
that
yes.
makes sense now.
And Daniel Berry Sports Highlight just joined us. Hello.
Daniel?
Good evening. Kind of excited to see how this print turns out. It's almost done.
Mm,
I think you should make more prints of what I gave April, because I think those little suckers would sell.
I think they would too. My only fear is I don't know. I don't know if I need a special filament for it to really be food grade. You know what I mean?
I just sell them white and tell them paint them at their own.
Own risk.
Yeah, I just
uh,
I just had a brain fart over that word. I'm old, you know.
you ain't that old, and you're still sexy.
And
Uh,
I'm older than you, honey.
I know. I don't have a problem.
And I'm
Uh,
just the young pup.
Yes, you are.
so, uh, Christmas is over 6 hours early too. Yeah, that was my point, my Jimmy. I think the decongestants are kicking in. Uh,
Well, hurry and get well for Christmas.
and
Yes.
Thesis just joined us. As soon as his camera starts working, we'll bring him on stage. There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not editing his display name. I got
And
to.
this is
I've got to change this mouse. It's doing weird stuff without me even. It's got one of those scroll wheels on it, and I'll turn it down, and it'll jump up 3 pages. It, it's probably full of uh, fingerprint oil and skin cells. Um,
Very,
Oh, and
very
John's
well
here
put,
too.
Mike Jimmy. Very well put.
All right.
Hey, we're on the LMS brand.
A lot of taxes. Thank you, MJ. Love you. Hey, John.
Hey.
Oh, like a buddy of mine used to say when he first turned 50, he's 49 plus shipping and handling.
No.
That could get expensive. I've been handled quite a lot.
I'm not even gonna go there. It's not the green room.
Would you go there in the green room though?
Ask me tomorrow night.
That's all right. She's gone there in person.
Remember,
Not telling tales out of school.
I
It was
got married.
public. Everybody saw.
I got married 3 months after meeting the Witzman dude on my 31st birthday. Before that, I'd had 2 failed engagements, and I'll tell you the rest tomorrow night.
Now, the question that bothers me is why have I got the correct logo for the show, but I
Yeah.
can't get to my own directory of my theme music and my pop-ups and things like that.
Really? I'm
It's
seeing it
not
right
there.
now.
I was gonna say you should be able to see it now since we're on that brand.
I should. Oh yeah, now it finally got there, but it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me change off of stupid o'clock while I was trying to do the opening credits. That's weird.
Well, I want to try something just to see if it works here.
Okay.
I'm going to go to overlays. I want to add something for you, and you tell me if you like it or not. Let me see.
Let me know when it finishes uploading, and I will look. 'Cause
There it is.
after having to use the stupid o'clock intro, I'm
Okay.
afraid to touch anything.
It should be uploaded. It's at the bottom of the overlays.
Yes, it would be.
Orange warning sign.
Don't get me started, Mike Jimmy. I ordered
Nope.
cigars from Jersey. They were supposed to be here today. They went from Jersey to Philadelphia to Kansas City, which is bypass Illinois altogether. And it has sat in Kansas City the last 3 days, and they're saying, yeah, you'll maybe get it. Maybe Monday, but more likely Tuesday.
I blame the Teamsters.
Mm-hmm. Yes, John, it did show up. You mean this?
Yes.
Finally, somebody besides me and Richie making green room signs. I mean, seriously, this is probably my greatest effort right there. I like that, and it was made entirely for the.
Oh, cute.
I just got to paint it in.
What's it say?
Hang on a minute.
Cat vomit, caution.
Oh,
And it is double-sided.
Nice.
Just like the wet forward.
Now you got to paint it. See.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, you've been doing the 3D printer thing, right, Joe? So.
Yeah.
The evidence was right there.
I've seen this guy, and he's got some sort of thing. He takes old water bottles, and he runs them through this machine that shreds them into little lines of plastic, and he's using those as his 3D printer medium. Have you done that yet? Do you have anything?
I have not. So I've heard of using that. I've heard of people using the scraps from like their supports that have to be printed with some of the designs.
Right.
Failed prints, stuff like that. And there is a machine. I can't bring myself to spend that kind of money on it, but there is a machine. It would be very useful for someone who has a printer farm where they've got you know 6 to 10 of the bamboo printers that are churning and they're churning stuff out
Right.
in mass quantity.
Now,
Um,
let's just explain for people. You and Joe Dog both use filament printers,
yep,
and Richie uses a tank
Resin.
of fluid
yep,
that
resin fluid.
is activated by I think it's ultraviolet light.
UV light. Yeah.
Yep,
UV curing.
Yeah,
yep.
I did not realize before I heard from Richie about what his does that there were two different, totally different designs.
I think
What,
there's more than that, actually.
what does the bamboo mean?
Bamboo's the brand of printer.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the more popular brands.
Like Samsung or something.
Yeah, especially since it has the capability. Most of their models, it has an attachment where you can actually hook up 4 different colored spools of filament.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're printing something off as a multicolor, so like this little guy here, if I had one of the bamboos, I could have told it to print in yellow, and then print the inside as black,
Mm-hmm.
and not have to
Go back and
Paint.
paint.
paint it at all.
See, that's one of the reasons I was asking. I was wondering if you could like use yellow milk jugs, and it's.
Oh yeah, and like I have a spool of blue here. I still got a spool of red. I think I got black in there. It's just with my printer changing out. I could do a multicolored print. It's just a bear to do it.
Would you
Because
have
then
to change out the print head too? Because it would still have something inside of it that you would have to clean out.
no, so the loading and unloading of it will actually purge whatever's left in the nozzle.
Oh, so it's
Um,
it's like one of those uh, welders that uses the steel wire that goes through,
Yeah.
as well as the gas and everything to make it heat up.
So,
Mike Jimmy
like,
is
even-
going to try and join us here in a few minutes.
All right. Even the bamboo printers, those like there's a girl that I follow on Kick that streams her 3D printer, and she's got one of the ones that'll do multicolored. And when it switches color, you'll see the print head go back over to this little reservoir or unloading area really, and you'll see the color that was being printed coming out, and then you'll see a little bit of the new color come out. So basically, it's set to run, for a set amount of time to be able to purge out the old, get the new starting to flow, and then it'll go back, start printing that color until it's done with that area, and then go back over, eject out what's left until the new color starts coming out. And
Weirdly enough, that is similar to a hay baler.
Yep.
For the small rectangular bales, not the big huge round things that are popular nowadays. But
yeah,
you could have different colored twine in the hay baler, and as one ran out, you had them gently knotted to one another, so it would keep going until the entire reservoir ran out. And you could have red, white, and blue. You could have just straw color. You could have anything, but there are some people that did that, and it was actually galvanized wire. And I'm going, ooh, that's gonna
What?
hurt throwing it up on a truck.
It does. Trust me.
So the other nice thing about those printers that will take the multi-spools is if you are printing something all in one color that is going to run through, what you have left on the one spool, you can load, the same color on the second spool and just have it automatically switch over.
I'm just grateful that didn't name their brand Big Bamboo, because then I would have immediately leapt to the conclusion that they spent way too much time with Cheech and Chong in the 70s.
Yeah,
No such thing.
I'm actually impressed by the hinge on this even.
Oh, nice.
Oh
Yeah.
God, how did it articulate that?
I don't know, but it works, and it works well.
There is a wood carving technique that can do things like that. And I'm going, I don't think I have a knife blade thin enough to go through that little piece and free it up from the other piece, and it's all one board to start with. These are the kind of things that fry my brain. I can write science fiction, I can write universe destroying villains, and I can write 20-mile long starships. It doesn't matter. But how to make a hinge out of a little piece of wood that's all one piece? No, can't wrap my head around that. That takes skill.
And this is actually 80% of the normal size. The actual full size doesn't fit on my printer. It over things by about 5 millimeters each side.
Well, you're not going to be making the life-size ones anytime soon.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, played D&D and some of the other minute or games, the role-playing games, where you had the miniatures, little 15 millimeters. And from what I understand, 3D printing has revolutionized wargame miniatures.
This is one of Nick's. This is one of Nick's big stompy robots for his game.
They are no longer
for him to sell.
They are no longer cast out of pewter.
Up.
And here's Jimmy.
Hey.
They're no longer cast out of pewter, and you have to paint them up. They're cast out of plastic, and you have to paint them up.
I'm gonna see how well my phone does. But good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you made it, so far so good.
I will try, Bob.
I don't know if the camera will focus on this, but
yeah,
it's tiny on my phone.
Yeah. Little gargoyle.
That's pewter I painted. It's not the most impressive thing in my collection, but it is the closest to my disc.
Actually, here's a.
Now to figure out where it went. Good Lord!
There's another one of his DSRs that I printed, John.
Oh,
little tank model.
Evidently, that shelf has fallen off the wall a time or two, and things have gotten put back in, and they are doing double duty in the little window box. May have to get. What the hell? Oh,
hey, Kiri.
Yeah, Kiri, get in here.
And I went through. I was doing some touch-ups on my little demonic Santa. I didn't realize that I had made the brown a little bit lighter for the skin tone. So now Santa kind of looks like he has something going on with his eyes, like he's got some kind of allergic reaction or something.
He probably just ate some of my chili.
Show him your toad.
He has a peanut allergy.
Yeah.
And somebody put peanut butter cookies up.
As long as he doesn't have a pinto bean allergy, he'll be all right with my cooking. Hey, Kiri. Yeah.
Hey, Kiri, get in here, Kiri. Darn, you just in stupid o'clock.
I don't think I got to show this off, but I did get the mistletoe completed.
Oh, the mistletoe.
Mistletoe, yes. No.
And it's camouflaged.
Well, most toads are. I mean, it's...
No, I meant the rocket.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's nice to talk to you guys.
It's
It's
good to
good to
have
nice
see
you
you,
to
here.
Mike.
have you here. Good Lord. Um, all right, you're not going to be able to have your hip surgery for until next
Probably two
month,
more
I
weeks.
do believe.
Yeah, early to mid January.
Yeah, but if you
So
hadn't made that phone call, it would have been April or something.
no, February. Still long,
Mm.
but yeah, like too long. Um,
Oh,
so I wanted to say tomorrow, but it's later today. I'm gonna call them again, going, "Hi, I was supposed to be called today, this week. What's up?" But
definitely. This
yeah,
is not something you can take lightly. You've got to make sure everything
no,
goes exactly correct.
no, and like I should have been in surgery this week. So I don't know what that's going to do for the long run. I don't know what that implies for the surgery itself. Um, I'm getting by pretty well though. I'm starting to walk with just one crutch. Um, so that is nice. I actually walked home from the um, physiotherapist. How do you call those in English? I don't know. The guy that
Physical therapist. Yeah.
massages you.
It translates. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
they all use Latin anyway. So,
Hmm.
um,
So that was nice. That was only like a kilometer, but like that felt good. Um, and yeah, like I'm starting to be able to get Aurora much better out of bed and stuff like that. I'm not hurting as much, but then I got a cold last night, and here we are. Good morning.
yes. Well, I mean, we're gonna worry about you until the surgery's over and you're back absolutely 100% ambulatory with no pain.
Well,
So
that's gonna
just
be 1.5
just
years.
be prepared. We're gonna worry about you because we
I love
love
you
you.
too.
It's
No,
not fun.
no, like and the main thing that bothers me is like um you hear about quote unquote normal prosthetics, hip prosthetics,
Mhm.
and they're like, yeah, you need to start walking on it from day one.
Mhm.
I've been
Yep.
told,
Pretty close.
yeah, no, I've been told you are going to be laying down for the first 3 months and sitting and walking as little as possible. And after those 3 months, we're going to start with the normal treatment.
Hmm.
And then you got a year to go, if not longer. So
That's
yeah,
odd.
That does not sound right to me. And I've had a tibial toe fracture, which means there are now two titanium screws in one of my knees holding my
hmm
leg together. So they told me, "Oh, it'll be 6 weeks." It was closer to 6 months,
hmm
but
yeah,
as soon as I was pain free enough to ditch the crutches,
yeah,
started using a walker, and as soon as I decided this has gone on long enough, I'm
Mhm.
tired of this, and
yeah,
I just folded up the walker and set it aside and started walking. It
yeah.
hurt. It hurt quite a bit,
Mhm.
I
but
imagine
it was not insufferable. And
because
hey, Chris,
that was short. Now the
wait a
thing
minute.
is,
John, this
um,
is my show. Let me do the
I'm sorry.
controls.
I haven't.
he was enthusiastic.
Dawn and I do that stuff all the time on my show. We'll both
I
start
know,
control
I
stuff.
know, I know. I mean,
We sit back and
with
laugh.
stupid o'clock,
Okay.
it's what me, John, Joe Dog. I don't know if Chris has ops or not, but he should. Um, And then Joe's wife walks in with a frying pan, and John and I get to take over. Uh,
Oh, that's funny.
oh, okay. Now this is weird. I'm about to open my second beer since Stupid O'Clock went live.
Are you getting old?
Those are rookie numbers. You need to pump those numbers up.
Just leave him alone. He knows what he's doing.
Mike, Jimmy, I've been old for. Let's just say the Appalachian Mountains were not separated by the Atlantic Ocean. You do know that they actually run through your. Well, no, you don't have any mountains. You've got
No, we don't.
you've got lowlands and stuff, but they run through
No.
England and Scandinavia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Kitty.
it's just continental drift. Oh wait, I can't do gestures when I'm not sitting in front of the camera. Continental drift
Yeah. I know.
created the Atlantic Ocean, and the
And
Appalachians
technically-
got split into two parts, and some of them are in Europe, and some of them are in the United States.
And some
And
are in
they
North
are-
Africa.
They are some of the oldest mountains that have ever been.
Mhm.
I mean,
According to some models and theories by scientists, they were once 26 miles in height from bottom to top. They were
Were
the
they?
biggest mountains. They were even bigger than the Himalayan mountains at one point in
Mhm.
time.
and now they are eroded and worn down, and there's not that many fossils left because those have all been washed down the hill.
Well,
I
But
feel just like the Appalachian Mountains,
well,
worn
the
down and washed out.
Brasstown Bald is over 4,400 feet in height at its peak. Mount Mitchell is approximately 6,649 feet in height and elevation. There's still some sizable mountains.
And
Yes,
Mount Motherfucker is at Fort Knox.
That's because it's supposed to be a tough nut to crack.
Because trust me, if you've ever had to run PT out to that hill every damn morning, you know how it got its name.
Well, folks, I'm
Oh.
going to take off because I got to get up early tomorrow. So, I
all
will
right,
see you
well,
all.
at least you're leaving with a good laugh.
Yep.
Take care, Joe.
See you guys.
Good night, Joe.
Good night.
Good night.
And Richie popped in. No,
Why is
the
Richie
Appalachian
here?
Mountains for the Appalachian. Oh my God! And Kitty's here too.
Yep. Hello, Kitty.
Oh, I love saying that.
What is Kitty's got another one too. Something about
Rich, you
Going to be
still
on
there?
tea
Yeah.
time Saturday night.
I hope so.
If Thesis's internet cooperates.
Oh, it wasn't the internet last time. I was just dying
Well, you sound much better.
Don't say that.
for now.
Don't hurt yourself, Dan.
No. Let me think.
Don't hurt yourself, Dan.
I'm trying to do sober thoughts here, and I'm not.
Where's the not the green room sign?
It's called mental exercise.
Shut up. Few people can tell Chris to shut up, but for some reason I feel presumptuous.
It is your show.
Thesis, the thing that you got as a gift has shown up. And
You got Lindsay.
I got it for Lindsay. I'm going to have to wrap it The box is still sealed. She does not have any idea.
Nice.
And she does not watch. She doesn't watch me walk into the kitchen and get a beer, much less watch my show. I mean, she's married to me. She's bored with me already.
Well, I definitely know one of those.
She
Luce isn't much better in that regard.
Hey, what hurts is when it's your daughter and she goes, sorry, Dad, gotta go. Can I have the car keys? Of course, over there, it's can I have a bus ticket or a train ticket?
or it could be, can I have the keys to the lot for the bicycle chain?
Mm,
Probably the bicycle until they're
this is
18,
true.
and then maybe.
This is true. I always admired Europe for having intelligent public transport for the most part.
They do, but the Dutch make good use of bicycles, and
That is
some
true.
of the ladies have some lovely legs as a result of it.
Hmm.
Oh, that's not all that's lovely, but we're not going to go there
Yes.
because it's not Friday.
Well, I
Um,
was just commenting on the bicycle thing and some of the results bicycle riding produced.
You are not
Uncle,
wrong.
Uncle Carl
Yeah.
posted a link in the secret humor group tonight. It was postmodern jukebox,
Yeah, postmodern.
postmodern jukebox. I hope I said that
Postmortem
correct.
Postmodern.
The goth
Hey,
version.
that would be a winning channel during Halloween, or especially the way that Mike
You may have
Jimmy and I
invented something
feel right
there, Dan.
now.
Keep that in mind. You may have invented something.
Yeah.
I may have, but the last time I come up with something like that, somebody registered the website instantly, and that was at LibertyCon. And I'm going, damn, and I'm not even going to get paid for that idea.
Yeah.
In any case, when it works, the rail system in Europe is just
Oh yeah.
it puts everything we've ever had here except for maybe the New
No.
York and the Chicago subway to shame.
So, I was stationed in Berlin back in the 80s and into the 90s, and Berlin had one of the most awesome, even though half of it was in communist East Germany, they still had one of the most awesome transportation systems I've ever seen in my life.
Well,
I've not
here's
seen
the thing.
anything
Like, if you're looking at like early 1900s America before the First and Second World War, there was a very good infrastructure when it came to trains and stuff because people didn't have cars yet. And the moment that cars got available, and
horses disappeared.
Yeah.
The trolley system disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, and you just don't see the passenger trains after trucks.
There were still
got to be
streetcar lines underneath the streets of Atlanta.
Yeah.
That got paved over. The problem is you
in
don't
Atlanta Underground, those rails might still exist.
in places. They
Very
the
few
thing is you don't have the population density in the United States in most areas except for New York and Chicago, because in
San
Europe
Francisco,
everything
they
is
got
closer
cars.
together. Things are more centralized, and
Yeah.
their tradition of public transit and walking are so strong, and they develop systems to move those people in as efficient a manner as possible.
Here's the thing: there's cities in the United States that are bigger than the entirety of the group of main big cities that we have.
Hmm.
Of course, it's going to be extremely hard to make that efficient, um, because you would literally have to put like a station every mile. Um,
Hmm.
Not worth it.
That's one reason why there's been such a pushback against high-speed rail over here because every village along the route wants their own station.
Then it's not high speed
Mhm.
rail.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
No,
train would not be able to get up to speed before it had to stop
Stop
again.
and pick somebody up or
Yeah.
drop somebody
Yeah.
out. That's why they need, when they run high speed rail, they need to have right alongside of it what you would call the slow line.
Hmm.
Yeah,
High speed rail is from getting from major city to major city. The slow line right next to it would be for getting to everything else in between.
and that's the thing. In
And
the Netherlands, we have that. Like a lot of places will have a single rail
Hmm.
or a double rail, and then at stations, you got an extra rail that diverts and actually goes to a small station where the short line can stop.
um, Chattanooga is Tennessee, is right on the Tennessee River, and it's right at the Georgia border. Well, strangely enough, Georgia doesn't quite make it to the Tennessee River. And there's been this huge controversy about getting water from the
Hmm.
Tennessee River and pumping it down to Atlanta. Atlanta's having a water shortage.
Yeah, it's because you got too many transplants from California that think they need to water the lawn every freaking
The
day.
Californians still think they're at the beach. Yeah. Anyway,
Yep.
the reason we have not run a high speed rail from Chattanooga to Atlanta is every time they talk about it, they want to include a water pipeline for pumping water from Chattanooga to Atlanta. Atlanta always, yeah, we need the water. Says, we're not going to let you build a high speed rail unless we get the water with it.
Hmm.
And that's which I'm like, I say we put the water pipeline in the high speed rail and the
Yeah.
slow speed rail right along I-75. And you've got the high speed rail we've always wanted. B, you get slow speed rail for everybody else that, in between. And B, we can sell Atlanta all the water they want at extremely reasonable prices
Hmm.
and pay for the railroad.
Good profit.
That's,
But that means no
and
profit.
and the evil idea that just popped in my mind is, oh yeah, we can put in a pipeline directly from the Tennessee River to Atlanta. Just make sure it's never allowed to be more than 1 inch in diameter, which is basically what a house uses.
we're going to make the water line out of PVC pipe. Yes.
Mhm.
And if it breaks, we'll just fill it with something of a smaller diameter and you get a little less water, but we're going to raise the price because we had to work on the system.
The
Of
crazy
course.
thing is Atlanta gets more rainfall than Seattle does. The problem you have with Seattle is it's a little bit of a maritime climate, not quite fully. But you got all these transplants from sunny Southern California that moved up there. Oh my God, it rains so much up here.
Yes, I know people that move from Atlanta to Seattle and they go, weather sucks, but we love it here. I'm going,
Okay.
you had your meds checked, right? Uh,
It actually rains more in Atlanta than it does in Seattle.
I
yeah,
want to show y'all.
and
I want to show y'all something. This is a map of the public transportation rail system in Berlin.
yeah, that's very similar to maps of the London Tubeway that I've seen.
Exactly. And this thing won awards for being so well laid out. The map did.
Yeah, Actually, I think the main holdup is that no billionaire has found a way to make
To
it
make
put
money off
money
of
in
it.
his
Yeah,
pocket.
Well, the thing is, you have to have certain ridership amount to make money, and we
Hmm.
don't have the densities here like they do in New York and Philadelphia and Washington and Boston, and people commute.
my idea for a high-speed rail between Atlanta and Chattanooga, and I don't know where else they'd want it to go. I know they're talking about that one going up to Chicago or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they talk about eventually having one going to maybe Orlando or Tampa and making one
It's
stop.
My
it's
bright
been in the
idea
planning stages for
to help make it
decades.
pay for itself, okay, is you put in the high-speed rail, the low-speed rail, the water, any other infrastructure you need, water, sewer, whatever. Oh, if you're going to be digging up the ground, you might as well put in everything, right? And solar panels. It's
Oh,
120 miles from Chattanooga to Atlanta. 120 miles of solar panels would generate a pretty good amount of electricity, probably enough to run the damn train.
there
Easily.
is something I thought of that is not popular with politicians here, but
Brains? Oh, oh.
every
Honesty?
every
Integrity?
highway
Um,
and every parking lot and every building should be roofed with solar panels.
yes.
I mean, you go to a Walmart, there's 120 acres of parking. How many
Yeah.
solar panels can you fit on that and
Now,
be able to walk out of the store without an umbrella in a rainstorm?
when I was at when I was out in Arizona, they do that a lot in Arizona. Is that the parking lots will have solar panels over the cars, which keeps the cars cool and generates electricity. And at night, they've got power for their lights in their parking lot. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it,
we're doing
it's
it here.
like,
It works.
yeah, it's just one of those things where um, nothing is catching on, but mostly because we can't wrap the capitalist mentality around making things for the general public that are not exorbitantly expensive. Be glad when we have high speed rails from Chattanooga to anywhere else too. Well, yeah, Kerry, you'd like to be anywhere but Chattanooga. I understand that. Um,
I'm surprised that we do not have a Disney Express that
Yeah.
goes from Chicago all the way. It should go all the way to Miami from Chicago,
mhm.
and basically, not only is it a high speed rail for just people, but they should have cars. The train that you can put your car on,
Mhm.
Exactly. I was
and
about to say that.
sleeper cars. And you put your car on the train, you put your family in the sleeper car, and you wake up in Disneyland or Disney World.
Well,
Isn't that the way some of the ferries from England to France work? You just
Yeah.
drive your car on, lock
Yeah.
it up, go to your cabin.
People in the United States don't get it because they don't do it. Um, when I was stationed in Berlin, we used to have this thing called the duty train. Every night in Berlin, you'd go get on the duty train, and you had a sleeper car. Okay, so there'd be 4 people in each sleeper compartment.
Mhm.
You'd put the beds up, everybody go to sleep, and when you woke up in the morning, you would be in the train station in Frankfurt, Germany,
Yeah.
at dark early. And what was really cool about it was from the train station in Frankfurt, Germany, they had a train that went to, you go to Bremerhaven, which was a port that all the American military used for cars and stuff like that.
yeah.
Or you could go out to Frankfurt, Maine airport, which was, they had Air Force Base there, and the train
Yeah,
station was
right.
right in front of the Air Force Base. So you could literally get off the train, jump on the other train, go to the Air Force Base, and jump on a MAC flight there at Frankfurt. And if you could get a MAC flight, I tried that once. It was ridiculous.
Well,
But,
here's another problem that you're dealing with in the United States, especially the Southeast.
the Teamsters.
No,
Oh,
having
they don't,
enough
they don't,
right
they
of
don't want high
way,
speed trains because then they'd,
having enough right of way because the freight trains companies, they own most of the railroad right of way because a lot of
Okay,
the
that's
other
another
right of way
thing.
was destroyed. Number
which is
two,
one of the reasons
you have elevation issues because Atlanta is the highest city east of the Mississippi River in elevation. And you have to go over things like Monteagle Mountain.
Mhm.
And
now my idea for high speed rail, it would actually be kind of like a monorail, and they
Well,
would build it. Well, no, they would build it above the freeway.
Yeah,
you have
we're not using the green space in the middle for anything.
Exactly.
and
Every freeway in the United States, you got a northbound lane, southbound lane, or an eastbound, westbound, depending on which direction you're going, and they've got a median in between the two of them with nothing in it except trees and crossovers for the highway patrol to write you a speeding ticket. So,
in addition to the elevation issues and the right of way issues, you also have the fact that you're going to be having to use land that isn't currently road or rail or any of that, meaning you got to buy out people's property.
that's why I say run it down the center of the freeway.
Well, you've also got to buy the infrastructure to build the bridges that can support the weight. And they don't like repairing stuff that needs to be repaired, much less building new stuff that needs even more
That's where
standards
you
than they
create
got.
new jobs. That's that's where if you're going to put this in, the first thing you do is you say, look at all the jobs I'm going to create. I'm going to create 100,000 railway jobs between Chicago and Miami. It's
Yeah, and you're going to
Yeah.
hard time
Mike Jimmy, you're muted.
to pay for it.
I know. I was just sighing because the thing is, all of those ideas are actually valid. The problem is, on the short term, they would not make any money. And if you're looking at any company right now that is actually growing, or you want something from an investor, they want quick money. They don't care about the long run. They just want quick money.
That is another problem.
That is the main problem, really.
Which is why I want to
Because
start.
there's no short-term money back from all of these ideas. Yeah, you can put up a rail line. Yeah, you can put 120 miles of solar panels on it. But the water line is easy enough as well, honestly. Like, that's not the problem. The point is, the moment that you're going to say, yeah, we'll make money back in 25 years,
Nobody wants to do that. Yeah, but
No,
see, that's
Yeah.
another problem. That is another problem we have in the United States. We don't look at the long picture.
no.
Yes,
at all.
the big picture is not something that a lot of investors
Which is
want
why I'm
to
a
look
Listen
at.
to something in the
They're
background.
in it for the short term.
right. Which is why I'm a firm believer that we need to start taxing insurance companies.
Yes.
Tax the hell
Why
out of
aren't you
all these people. Every time they raise insurance rates, raise their taxes. It's-
Yeah. That's what I do
So
here.
that they only make the same amount of money ever.
Well,
Yeah, I've always liked the idea of a train you drive up to and park your car inside and go somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe all the way to California.
Sunset
And-
Limited.
There was talk.
When you get there to your destination, you disembark the train and have your own car to drive around. That would fit in with the established American car culture.
Yeah.
We have been programmed to think that there is nothing better than having your own vehicle and going where you want, when you want, as long a distance as you want. But there are distances that are prohibitive to not having an assist of some kind from another system.
There was talk years ago of having a giant multimodal station built essentially where 5 Points is. You would have
Oh,
MARTA 5 Points heavy rail system already in place. You would have commuter rail, Amtrak or other, coming in. And you would also have streetcar lines going out in addition to the roads and the vehicle traffic and the buses and everything else.
See, that's another thing is all of that infrastructure we want to put in for that is jobs, people, real jobs. You know, like
oh
can't
well.
make them see that though, because you have too many people that stand to lose money, too many people that can't make enough off of it to satisfy their goals, objectives, needs, wants, whatever.
Well, short
And
term
you have red tape preventing all this crap, and that doesn't include the lobbyists and everybody else that's involved.
oh, let me be emperor of the United States and watch what happens.
Yeah, but there's too much of an independence in the United States to let one person do it.
I am so tired of bait fish and snails being used to derail construction projects that we desperately need to have. I mean, sure, I don't want any species to go extinct, but
I don't know. I've been watching the election. You got Republicans and Democrats. That's two.
well,
species.
those could go extinct, and I wouldn't
Did you know
quibble.
they
but,
were originally, or not originally, they were going to build another perimeter interstate outside of 285?
I use it constantly. It's called
But-
Highway 20.
No, they were going to do another perimeter
Another
interstate,
loop. Yeah.
but they got to looking at it and they said, well, they're going to do the same thing with it that they did with 285. It wound up being a economic generator, and people moved out to it and flooded it. And they're like, they're just going to do the same thing. There's no point in us building it because it's going to create more sprawl, which is what we were trying to prevent in the first place.
That and every time you build a new loop farther out, it gets bigger by pi r squared, and the first one was expensive. The second one will be monumentally expensive.
Well, they had already been buying up property to build it, but like I said, they got to doing the studies on it, and they're like, well, the same thing's going to happen. Do you really want another 285?
Exactly. I'm glad they had some foresight to do that. When the Concorde came out, the supersonic transit, everyone was bitching about the noise it made. So Florida, in their infinite wisdom, said, you know what? We got all this swamp down here nobody's using. We will build a new international airport just for supersonic transports out here in the middle of nowhere and run trains and buses and freeways past the airport to take people to Miami and Fort Myers and whatever is Lauderdale.
Probably.
Anyway, so they built this thing. They started building it, and of course the SST boom went bust in the 70s. Whatever. And so if you look, it's kind of funny. If you look in South Florida, in the middle of this swamp, just northwest of Miami, there's an airport with nothing there. It is now they gave it to the National Guard. It is now a national contract area. And it was going to be the big South USA airport for.
Well, one of the problems with, other than the noise, with the SST or the supersonic transport planes, is the prices were prohibitive because they didn't have enough planes and flights to bring the prices down, because they would only let them land at certain airports.
You know, well, back when the SST thing started, everybody was trying to build an SST. And the only ones who wound up actually doing it were the Brits and the
French.
And the French. French and Brits collaborated to build the Concorde. The Soviets built one, but it was a death trap.
Yeah.
Boeing and Lockheed both had one they were building, but they just decided that's not. Everyone wanted to go to small, like 737, smaller aircraft, and that's what killed that.
And then they went to smaller ones than that when they started.
And that's what killed the 747. As everyone went smaller, nobody wanted big airplanes.
Yeah, well, you had the 717s that AirTran wound up with, and they were bigger than a 707, but they were smaller than a 737. And then you had
There's your right.
Boeing used to be the preferred plane manufacturer to buy from. Somehow or other, Airbus passed them, and Boeing's quality went down. And
Oh yeah, money. They were looking for, like we said earlier, they were looking for the quick fix instead of long term. Let's build a quality product.
Yes. It's the premise that short term profits are better than long term profits.
yeah.
How can we make money now and not worry about it 20, 30 years?
Yeah, really, because I'm going to be dead soon. I want to die rich and have somebody argue about my toy collection. Rich said, sorry, wasn't looking at the screen. Yeah, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I'm planning on Saturday in the tea house.
Why is Rich not
There
here?
you go.
Quite a while ago.
Yeah.
He's been in the chat, but he's
almost 8 minutes ago.
Okay. Kiri's not here. Why is Kiri not here? And Rich is not here. Why is Rich not here?
Kiri's in the chat. Rich is in the chat.
You argue with them. I'm not going to. They have their own lives and they have the right to their own lives.
I'm not always able to make it, especially on a Thursday night. So this is one Thursday night I can make it, so I'm here.
Yeah. And I live online, and somebody just pinged in. And there's Rich.
Hi,
The reason why
Rich.
Ricky wasn't here is because, if you notice, I'm being shot from a slightly different angle. I've been trying to set up a new cam.
Trying to do the 2-cam thing so you can show your
There you go.
your chainmail as well as your face in one of Joey's shows
Without having to deal with the piddly little half-ass webcam I have for work, and I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth between two machines with that. So,
is somebody playing something, or is there an echo or something?
There's something going on.
There's an echo.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't going to mention it. It's some background noise from Mike Jimmy's apartment.
That is probably from my phone then. Let me see. If
And
I
actually, as you're talking right now, it is greatly reduced,
Yeah.
but it sounds like it's echoing stuff we're
Yeah.
saying.
that's probably from like you talking and my phone picking that up. So I'm gonna put on earplugs and hopefully that works.
It's not bugging me that much.
Yeah. It's just something I noticed. It's
Yeah,
Don't
not,
get yourself, don't get yourself
we'd
kicked off.
rather have you here
yeah.
and put up with the background than
Let
not
me
have
see
you here.
if this
I-
helps.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't hearing anything.
See that there. Something like that.
Because me being deaf in one ear, I sometimes pick up stuff that nobody else picks up on.
Oh, tell me about it. And it's like with Lindsay, with her disability, she has olfactory hallucinations.
Hmm.
So she smells a trash can on fire in the house
Oh, yeah.
when nothing is burning at all.
And that would drive me crazy, me
Yeah.
doing it, much less.
I mean, seriously, she is going DEFCON 5. Let's get the fire extinguishers out. And
This
there's
picks up
nothing.
on non-existent pet smells and non-existent. Is something burning? No.
Well,
Exactly,
No, sorry
exactly.
guys,
luckily,
it doesn't want to work with Bluetooth.
when Mom was still alive, I smelled something burning, and I was able to put out a fire before it got bad.
Yeah.
That's why they call him Smokey, and that's how he got his name.
Uh, that does happen, especially when you have elderly relatives that have to be taken care of basically 24/7.
I'm just glad it happened when I was there to catch it before it got out of
Yeah,
control.
I can't tell you the number of times my mom has put a frying pan on the stove and turned it on and forgot to put anything in it, or a coffee pot on the stove and the water all boiled away and she'd forgotten entirely about it. Dad was worse, but Alzheimer's is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
done.
about ready to start a battery of tests dealing with that.
Mhm. And basically,
I
like Jimmy, it sounds like the feedback is coming from me when I shut up, which is rare. The feedback stops.
No comment.
No, I don't know. It's weird, but I can't
It's
seem to
all
get it
right.
working
It's all
on.
right.
Yeah.
We'd
It's something I
we'd
can
rather
do.
have
I just
you
wanted
in
to
the
make sure.
noise than an absence of you.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't hearing things and being crazy.
Yeah, no. Nope.
Because I don't want, how the saying goes, of all the things I've lost, it's my mind I miss the most.
Mhm.
I don't want that to go for a while yet.
Oh,
No, it's good to hang out with you guys. I just family life.
Hey,
So
we totally understand, and we appreciate you being here.
believe me, I have raised I don't know how many children. It's got to be triple digits by now, and none of them were mine, but I was responsible.
Yeah.
So there we go.
family life ain't getting run over by a jack wagon on a scooter.
no. not helping. That's for sure. So
And
it's my PC.
you've got your priorities you've got in order. So
Yeah, no.
we do not begrudge you taking care of your family and what you need to take care of.
You know, you don't.
No.
Family always comes first,
Yes.
especially when there's a little one involved. The fact that she's adorable is just an added bonus.
I love how she's sleeping through the night now. She goes to bed at 7 and she wakes up between 7 and 7:30. It makes life so much easier. And
Oh God,
so
that's a blessing when they finally reach that age.
When they get in that sleep pattern, oh man, it's so good.
You're gonna have so much trouble out of her when she's a teenager. I mean, seriously, she's gonna have both you and Liz's independence, and it's just gonna be so aggravating. I hate to bring that to your attention, but I'm sure you thought of it before.
He's got a while yet before he has to worry about it in earnest.
Oh God, but it happens so damn fast.
You blink twice and it's a year later.
I mean, one day they're in diapers, the next day they're asking for car keys.
It feels like we brought Crow home yesterday.
Exactly.
In 1 week and 1 day, they will be 17.
Oh,
Wow.
but they're adorable. I mean, seriously.
I'm just trying to figure out where the hell the time went. Oh, then again, I'm also trying to figure out what happened in 1987.
Time is relative. It really is. When it gets personal, it passes much faster. I'm eagerly awaiting when this is going to be a really strange saga to relate, but I have a grandson that is in the custody of my oldest stepdaughter. When he reaches 18 in 3 years, everybody's life is going to get a whole lot easier, except the fact that he will be 18.
Yeah.
And I'm going, great. I'll never have to deal with your biological father again. And you will not have to worry about your biological father again unless you want him in your life. And well, I already had a friend of mine offer to go buy quicklime duct tape and a tarp, and I'm going, no, that's more trouble than it's worth. We're just gonna let karma do what it normally does. All right.
Let karma run over his dog.
It would be nice, but I don't even want to wish him ill because he's not in good health. He's too much like his mother, and she's been gone for I don't know how long.
That's the beautiful thing about karma. You don't have to wish it on anyone. It just happens.
Well, they earn it themselves, yes, but
as the saying goes,
I'll still feel bad for going, please stop this. And then it happens by some tragic means. And I don't want that. I just wish that I wasn't the man in the middle. I'm the only one in their lives they could agree on to be the visitation supervisor between the child and his biological father. And this is what I get for being an honorable man. This is your reward. You get stuck in these situations, and two judges and a lawyer go, "You're it."
This is the one that you're having to do the supervised visits for.
Yeah.
I had this. It was an itty bitty.
Yeah, me too.
No, he's 15, same age as Lindsay's oldest grandson. Yes. Matter of fact, they like each other quite a lot, and they can think of computer games to play together and whatnot, entertain each other, and we just sit back and go, "Can we watch the bloody TV now?" Oh, but no, it's just
Teenagers love video games.
3 more years to go, and everything will be. He can make his own decision, and it's out of my hands. But until then,
Yeah.
I have to be there at a minimum once a month to make sure the child does not get kidnapped. He's got a disability check that the biological father needs for income.
There's an easy way to prevent that.
There are several easy ways, but there are drawbacks to all the easy ways.
No. This one's kind of really simple. Especially since you say that he's kind of a jackass. Wait till he does
He's a
something.
professional.
I'm trying to be halfway nice.
Oh, why stop now?
Just because my parents name me doesn't mean I have to be one all the time. But just wait till he does something and passes out like a chip in that. This way, if all of a sudden your grandson goes missing,
this is
and
why
not just one of the microchips that someone has to wave a wand over. I mean, something that constantly broadcasts the signal.
This is why I scheduled the visitations at the county library, which is right across from the county jail. Because if anything goes banana-shaped, or pear-shaped even, 911 is only about 35 seconds away. And they will...
Used to take a major jack wagon. The grandson can just go across the street to visit his dad.
Well, that depends on the court. That's not up to me.
Yeah.
I can do my mother-in-law.
I don't think I can arrange visitation between the county jail and stuff. I mean, they have to fingerprint me and scan my firearm permit and all this other stuff. So it gets complicated when you live in the South, especially if you bother to abide by the laws.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's the thing about the South. Depending on where you are, the judges are more understanding and easier to work with in places than they are in others.
Hey, there are places in the South where he needed killing as a valid legal defense.
Mm-hmm. And the further you are away from the big city, the more likely you are to find those places.
Mm-hmm. But that's just one of the, I don't want that on my karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Indiana is really interesting as far as stand your ground goes.
Mm-hmm.
So in some states, you know, you can't hurt them if they are on your front lawn or something like that.
That's fine,
uh-huh.
Jimmy. Thank you for
Indiana
stopping
stand
by.
your ground is they tried the handle of your car door. They don't even have to open your car door. They tried the handle of your car door. It was an attempted break-in of your vehicle. Stand your ground.
Mike,
Hey,
Jimmy,
it was our pleasure having you, Mike.
yeah,
Thank
really, really, it's always a pleasure. We don't get to spend enough time with you, but the Atlantic Ocean is a great barrier to communication.
Yeah.
Not if you're a whale.
Well, if you're trying to travel, it's a little bit of a
or trying to
obstacle.
communicate across 7 or 8 different time zones.
Not if you're a whale.
No, if you're a whale, you understand sonar. Um,
If you're a whale, the Atlantic Ocean is great. Okay. It's-
it just
Didn't think
conducts
the Atlantic
sound.
had many whales left in it. I thought most of them were concentrated in the Pacific.
have you been on a
Depends on
Carnival
the
cruise line
species.
lately?
Do what?
Have you been on a Carnival cruise line lately?
No.
Ate up with
They're
whales.
still out there. They're just hiding.
I was
Uh,
going to say one of the big things up in New England is whale watching.
Okay.
mhm.
I know we about hunted them to extinction in the Atlantic. I thought the Pacific was about the only places they were common anymore.
Mm,
Are you?
Well,
Are
the
you?
Pacific,
folks
the
familiar?
trade was pretty heavy too, especially between California and Hawaii.
Hmm.
Are you folks familiar with the megalodon shark,
Yes.
prehistoric
Yes.
shark that was like
I've
60
met
feet
one a time or
long?
two.
Hmm.
Yeah, mouth the size of a Volkswagen,
They
teeth.
made a film about it with Jason Statham.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, the
Two
less
of them.
said about
teeth.
that, the
Now,
better.
here's what's
Uh,
funny.
Hey, I got a friend that's obsessed with that movie.
There is everybody knows where Fort Sumter is down
Yes,
in okay.
Charleston.
Yeah. Anyway, they've got Patriots Point across from Fort Sumter. They got Fort Sumter down the bottom. But here's what's interesting about that area of Georgia and South Carolina
Hmm.
is you can go in the mud there and start digging around in the mud and find fossils of megalodon teeth all over the place because apparently that whole area was ate up with megalodons.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
It was probably part of the inland sea that gave Georgia its red clay
mhm.
mud, because most of Georgia used to be a sea bottom.
Yeah, that's where the fall line was. The shore.
I saw a map the other day. It's kind of interesting because I'd never seen it before.
Mhm.
It's talking about during the last really big ice age, the
Mhm.
big glaciation. They showed Florida. Of course, Florida looks like this, hanging off the United States.
We all know what Florida looks like hanging down.
Mm, yeah.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Just
Anyway,
ask Gallagher what it looked like.
You got Florida hanging down. Well, they showed Florida during the ice age as being like 4 times larger than it is now.
Hmm.
Because the ocean level was so low because of the glaciation and such, that there was more land mass in and around Florida. It was also one of the earliest places in the United States that was inhabited by man. So somebody hypothesized that, can you imagine going off of Florida out into the shallows in and around
Mhm.
Florida, doing scuba diving and such like this.
Mhm.
What kind of ancient uh, ruins that you could find from the early Indian ages in that
Mhm.
area? And he theorized that there might be megalithic sites in and around Florida, and he's trying to get a lot of money together to
Mhm.
get like drone research and stuff like this to go around and look at the ocean bottom to see if they can find any of this stuff. But that map was really
Senior
interesting.
living
Well-
centers are not Neolithic structures.
Now, you got to keep in mind, you got the continental shelf that goes out for
Quite a while.
a certain way, and then once you get past that, you really
It
start
gets
dropping off into the
deep.
pits.
Yeah. Well, that works the same way with every ocean. It just the continental shelf is not the same
Yeah.
distance in all cases.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a little closer to shore
Mhm.
before it gets deep,
Mhm.
and sometimes it goes out quite a way.
Yeah.
Uh,
It depends
and
on the area.
and not always do the people that are doing these. Oh, these are ancient structures. Actually know anything about geology and oceanography, so they go, "Oh, here's a natural formation of waves on undersea rocks that make it look like this is a thing
Yeah.
when it's basically just a bunch of rocks that nature sculpted."
Well, there's speculation that Atlantis was off the coast of the part of Europe and Africa that
Spain.
formed the boundary of the
Um,
Straits of Gibraltar and the opening to the Mediterranean Sea.
it's oh, what do they call it? The eye of something. I don't know what it is. It's a very,
Talking about the
it's a
Pillars of Hercules.
very intriguing geological formation. But if you color in all the low-lying areas as if it were underwater,
Hmm.
it looks a lot like Plato's description of Atlantis, which is weird because Plato made all that shit up. It was just background science fiction from for one of his morality stories and exploring um, basically the ramifications of having an empire in a place where nobody expected one.
Yeah.
And what would happen if they actually were as powerful and, well, advanced for prehistory
Mm.
as kind of would fit with the existing legendarium.
Okay, John, what are
Oh,
you
wow.
getting ready to show
That's
us?
a long word. Yeah,
Uh,
John, go ahead, flash it up. That's the
Okay. They're showing Florida back when there wasn't any glaciation, which is the A picture. Then the B picture is during the Ice Age, and you can see how big Florida was.
Hmm.
And then they're showing it roughly what it looks like now.
yeah.
So it extended out 100 miles further to the west
Mm-hmm.
and a little
Not
further to
Pretty much.
So Key
yeah.
West was an island, was a mountain. Okay.
Well, it would have to be. I mean, it's still above water today.
Yeah.
Now, if global warming happens,
A happens.
yeah, let's just say A plus. I may have oceanfront property, and everybody in Jacksonville is going to be going, damn, I'm glad I bought that boat.
Mm.
And Disney is now. Let me see. Let me look at that a little closer.
Oh, Disney will
It's
invent
Disney.
anti-gravity just to make sure that they don't sink.
It's gonna be close.
That's real close. Yeah.
I know. I've been there.
I think they're gonna make it, but it's gonna be close. Tampa, I don't think it's gonna survive.
Tampa St. Pete's going to be underwater.
NASA
My-
is history.
NASA is history. Miami is history.
Daytona's gone.
Daytona is history. Um,
St. Petersburg, Clearwater, all gone. Fort Myers, Naples, Sarasota, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Melbourne,
Tallahassee's
Jacksonville.
gonna be close to the beach.
Jacksonville, which is the capital of Florida, is gone.
No, Tallahassee's the capital of Florida.
See, Panama City Beach, Panama City, Pensacola, Gulf Shores, Destin, Mobile.
they better save the roller coaster at Panama City Beach.
It's already been tore down. Miracle Street.
Oh my God, that's a landmark. It should
They
have been
put
torn down.
a shopping district there. They do have a Margaritaville there, though.
It doesn't matter
That's the important thing.
without the
Rest in
amusement
peace,
park
John.
in
I
Panama
think it's
City
called
Beach.
Pier Point or
I have
something
no
like
reason to go there ever again. It's always covered in seaweed.
Margaritaville.
So,
That's a lot more entertaining to me than any damn roller coaster.
oh,
I agree. Roller coasters once or twice. Margaritaville's a good day and a half, 2, 3.
At least, yeah.
And a casino. So that's,
in a casino. Yep.
I mean,
Won't
think of
miss
all
it.
the different flavors of margaritas you could be. Okay,
And you can find someone to blame.
let me wipe the drool off my face.
let me see if I can find my salt shaker.
Hey! Look out for that
Nah.
pop top.
He
I
beat me
can't
to
find
it.
I've lost my salt shaker.
Is your
Not
foot
that I'm a big fan of Margaritaville or anything, but it's just it kind of happened.
Oh,
they've
we've already lost so much, and we will lose more in the future. That's the thing.
the fall line will be the shoreline though, because that's where the ancient ocean.
Now, if I were really smart, because I'm living down here in Georgia, just south of Tennessee, or just south of Chattanooga, is I'll go ahead and import some sand and some beach chairs. And 20, 30 years from now, I'll rent out beach property. So
That's pretty much what I'm thinking. Where I am, I could probably build a wharf and a dock.
hey, Dan, buy the sand while it's cheap. Okay? Yes.
Hey, John.
I'm considering it will deliver itself. All I got to do is wait.
There could be a Resaca Beach contest for real.
Hallowcon could be beachfront property.
Well,
It's not going to come up that high.
You'd have to take the ferry up to the hotel to get to the Hallowcon.
Yeah,
That's-
it's not going to go that high.
That would be
It's up
easier
that
than
hill.
driving.
It's not going to go up that high. The shoreline will be the fall line. That's Macon, Columbus, Augusta. That
I don't know, Chris. I'm looking at everything. I'm going, damn, it'd be nice to drive a 70-foot narrowbait all the way to the hotel and put it in the parking lot on a wharf.
buy up a crappy.
I am
piece of
not a
property.
marionette. Oh, wrong type of wharf.
Buy up a crappy piece of property along the interstate. Okay, clear off the property, have it leveled and everything like that, and bring in sand, and then put up a big billboard that says, Scarborough Beach, come on, global warming. And
Like I said, buy it at the Resaca exit.
Oh.
A lot of the land's already high up anyway. All you got to do is bring the sand.
They recently did a big refit on the old battleship Texas. Okay, she's looking good now. They got her squared away. But they're still arguing about where they're going to put, because Texas, strangely enough, the state of Texas, the city of Houston, state of Texas, they don't want her back at San Jacinto State Park. They want to move the battleship someplace else. So they kind of lost their lease, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then the state of Texas, they have plans for San Jacinto State Park. So they're trying to figure out where in Texas they're going to move the battleship. And I'm like, what we need to do is we need to bring the battleship Texas up the Mississippi River, up the Ohio, down the Tennessee River, and park it right here in Chattanooga. That's just, and Alamo the hell out of it.
Yeah. That'll bring in tourist dollars
from Texas.
And that's the thing about it. If they say anything to Tennessee about it, say, hey, we volunteered to come help y'all.
Volunteer state.
It's like that Saturn I rocket that was sitting at the Welcome Center in North Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That they just recently scrapped it. They tore it down and scrapped it because they're redoing the Welcome Center there along the highway. This historic Saturn I rocket that's been sitting there for 50 years. They finally said, it's in bad shape. We can't fix it or anything. So we're going to tear it down. And they just tore it up and scrapped it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying at the time, we should have gone in, dismantled it, brought it up to Chattanooga, and put it right outside the stadium there in Knoxville, where UT plays. Mm-hmm. Just so every time Alabama comes up and plays, we can say, yep, there's your rocket that we took.
Yeah. You want to pay the rent on it now? Or do we keep building the bill up?
Put a big orange T on the side of the rocket. It was right on. It was right on the Tennessee border. It would have been so easy to get a bunch of trucks up there and steal the damn thing.
All right, John.
Hey, sooner or later, whoever succeeds the current dictator of a nameless Asian communist country would go, hey, that's a nice CBM. Nuke it. It's next to Knoxville. Why not? It's right close to Oak Ridge.
Dan, don't give people ideas.
Hey, I don't have to give people ideas. They get uppity on their own.
Hey.
But what you could do, John, is after you put the big T on there, do an and sign and put an A underneath it.
Yeah.
Let's please.
Besides, Dan,
not bring the Atlanta Braves into any serious discussion.
Hey, Dan, ICBMs are so 1950s. Everything's drones now. Don't you know that?
Yes.
It's a big concern for folks in New Jersey.
I still got to get in touch with my cousin Jeff and see if I can get the keys to 2 or 3 of them things he's got.
Actually, I want to build a drone that the nose cone pops open right before it hits,
Wait a minute.
and there's a big scissors extension device and a boxing glove on the end of it that comes down at a slight angle so you can just fly over somebody and pop them in the head and keep going. You know?
Dan, did you not just realize that you said Jeff?
Yes, I did, but I do have a cousin named Jeff,
Yeah, but
and
Thesis has got a.
he has retired from Air Force military intelligence, and yes, there is a group called Jeff that owns 8 or 10 thermonuclear rockets.
I was thinking about a certain possessed Roomba.
Hey, I was at my oldest stepdaughter's house just over the weekend, and she has a Jeff butted against the wall in her house, and I'm going, honey, you have no idea what that means to me. And she goes, oh yes, Daddy. I read the magazine. And I'm going,
Nice.
very you're welcome, Thesis.
Yeah, I finally got him around to it, Thesis. That's the first thing I thought of when he said Jeff.
Well, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there is an online chart of all the world nuclear powers and how many missiles that they have. And down at the very end is somebody named Jeff that has 8 or 10. It's not Thesis's Jeff. I think it's my cousin.
Do they not have the last name? Or?
Oh man.
No, it didn't have the last name.
Okay.
Evidently, in real life, it is a group that does electronic testing and things like that to make sure that things are still operational after their normal service life has ended. Unlike several other countries in the world, we still have stuff that we check on to make sure it still works
There
in
you go,
case
John.
we need it. What's that? Sorry, I heard a ping, but not.
Yeah, I put something in the link chat.
Oh. Sorry, Mike Jimmy's message is the last thing I saw, so.
Well, this is after Joe Botman put a picture of the cats sitting in his spot in the bed.
Oh, well, I do not see that either.
The link chat, not the private chat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Messenger.
Yeah.
Oh, Messenger. Okay. Different
You gotta
program.
be specific with us old folks now, kids.
Really?
Okay.
Chat. Do you know how many chats I've got going?
Well, I said link chat. I thought that.
Oh, well, yeah. Normally that would mean a hell of a lot more. I will have to look at that later because I look at everything Facebook and Messenger oriented on my laptop. And right now I'm using my laptop, my iPad. I'm using that to do replies to the comment section.
This is a group called Redneck 101, and they have a drone which resembles an F-15.
Yes.
That it says drone hunting time.
Interesting enough, mentioning F-15s, the last F-15C Eagle just left Japan's Kadena Air Force Base. It was one of the last places that had operational F-15Cs. Everything now is E's and EXs and F-22s and F-35
Yeah.
Yeah.
and F-16s.
Is it the EX that is the recently updated to modern tech?
Yes, it's
version?
almost the only reason it's not 5th gen is because it's not stealthy.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. It's a freaking rocket with wings.
It's a missile truck. Yes, it hauls the missiles out there and drops the missile. And drops the missiles off so they can go to school. Because every time that thing drops a missile off, somebody's getting schooled. Okay.
Sorry,
that
I
thing
made
can carry more freight than a train.
It also has the F-15EX also has the conformal fuel tanks. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
I do not know that term. Please explain.
Okay, you know how they used to have drop tanks under the wings
Yes.
to extend the range.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Israel came up with this pretty cool idea. I think it was Israel. But instead of putting drop tanks underneath the wings, which takes up ordnance space, they came up with these conformal fuel tanks which fit on top of the plane along the top of the fuselage and feed the fuel down into the plane. They're not droppable like the drop tanks were.
But they're gravity fed, and once they
they're still pressurized. But they put them on top of the plane instead of taking up space under the wings. So A, you still get lots of fuel, and B, you can carry even more ordnance, which makes the F-15EX with the conformal fuel tanks one hell of a missile truck. So,
and also,
did they learn that from the X-15?
I believe so, actually.
Because I remember building a model of the X-15 with top-mounted external fuel tanks that extended its range so that it could do a lot of the research better because it wasn't going to run out of gas as quickly, as fast as that bucker was.
Depending on the design, it
I am
might
wrong.
make it more aerodynamic and fuel efficient.
I am wrong about one thing, though. The F-16, they put them on top of the fuselage. The F-15, they put them along underneath the wing roots.
Okay.
So a little bit different. I think that everybody's building the damn things. Damn 3D printers.
The F-15s and F-16s are the best designs, and the fact that they lasted as long as they did. And the F-16 is still relatively inexpensive compared to everything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're moving. These are conformal fuel tanks. They're moving them alongside the plane to put them along the wing route. I think that's where they're going with it.
Where it attaches to the fuselage.
Right.
It still looks like a shark with a bad attitude.
And here's the F-16. This is an Israeli F-16, and you can see the fuel tanks up here on top of the wings.
Oh yeah.
Which kind
of, they're much more aerodynamic than the ones that were on the X
right
X-15. The the NASA research thing that went beyond the sound barrier early. It's late. I can't remember the terminology. We've got 8 minutes left. Good Lord.
There's that thing. Is the X-15A2 external fuel tanks and a ramjet dummy test.
I still remember the SR-71 with the experimental drone on top of it. I go, what is this flying saucer looking thing?
It wouldn't have worked, but could you imagine a SR-71 with a AWACS radar dome on it?
No.
It would not have stayed on it for very long, believe me.
No, the stress points would have been.
I know. I think that was the same reason that caused the drone to stop being used. The the absolute pressure of the air at that speed made it prohibitive to try and design something that holds up to it.
Yeah.
Now, there was supposedly an SR-71 variant that was designed as a bomber. Instead of camera gear, yeah, that's the Dart. Yep, that's the one.
How long are we running tonight, Dan? Is it 12:30?
We've only got like 9 minutes left.
Yeah. Basically, I'm in pain right now, so we're yeah. Joe Dog ran till what was it? 10:30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already doing 2 hours here in another 8 minutes or 8.5, or no, 7.5 now.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, normally I would be up to just talking all night and waking up in the morning going, "Why am I still in my chair?" And my wife going, "We got stuff to do, boy." But yeah,
Yeah.
the pain in my shoulder is just. I've taken 2 doses of ibuprofen while the chat's been going on. And I don't like that because it tears my stomach up.
If you wanted pain to forget that pain, read Curie's last comment.
Oh, I did, and I decided not to share it with the universe in order to spare them. Curie, please just compete with Joe Dog on the jokes. I mean, the rest of the world is not prepared for this kind of shit.
God.
Yeah.
Just don't, Carrie.
And I am now seeing lots and lots of Popeil commercials in the back of my mind.
Billy
Jerry,
Mays
that
is the
joke
one I'm
stinks.
thinking of.
Oh my goodness. Well, I might switch over to Brand and see if I can actually run my outro now. I do not know why Stupid O'Clock would not let me switch to Last Man Standing. But now it has switched over.
I know exactly why. Because Joe and all those other folks were still talking after you started the show, so Joe hadn't shut down Stupid O'Clock yet, technically.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
I got off there as quick as I could get off.
Hey, you've never disappointed a lady yet.
We need to make sure
denigrating yourself.
We need to make sure Joe knows that if he's still running Stupid O'Clock, it messes with the algorithm.
This was the first time it ever happened. I think
just be buggy.
I think that StreamYard an update, of which I was previously unaware. Um,
That can
and the other thing is when I finally got Last Man Standing going, um, dark mode came back, which I am just now switching back to something I can actually see.
I like dark mode because it's easier on the eyes, but that's just me.
It's easy on your eyes. It's easy on Joe Dog's eyes. As for myself,
he likes the
just
additional light.
well, I just can't. I can't read anything. It's all really, really, really light gray text on a black background,
Yeah.
and it might as well be a wet T-shirt on a cheerleader.
Oh,
I can't see it.
have it.
Hey, wet t-shirts are stuff to get excited about.
Not if you can't see anything.
Just got to look harder.
If
Or
I
throw more
can't
water.
see, I'm gonna ask if I can feel.
You can get away with that. I sure as hell couldn't. My wife would kill me. I'm doing good to give Aunt Donna a kiss at Hallowcon without getting
Got
slaughtered.
permission. I got permission for that.
I know you got permission, but I don't.
It's all right,
Hell,
man. There's folks that'll cover for you.
I hope they got a copy of the Necronomicon and some.
No, what they're gonna
ancient-
say is he got permission. That'll be the end of it.
I just don't want it to be the end of me.
No, it'll be the end of the complaints. There will be no complaints. You got permission, so. Hey, I'm trying to help both y'all out.
Is somebody gonna have to tell her? You gave them permission.
Just a kiss.
Yeah.
Yes, and I keep treating Dawn like she's made out of spun glass, and she's so delicate. I can treat you like there's a real woman in my arms. There is a difference. It is one of those.
That's because she's a blonde and I'm a redhead.
Nope.
It's
You're
because
because
and
I'm
she's
afraid
not.
to hurt her, and I know there's no way in hell I can hurt you without Thor's hammer.
I wouldn't count on that.
He's talking about physical harm.
I still wouldn't count on that.
Yeah.
There ain't no way in hell I can mentally harm Aunt Donna any way, shape, or form. I ain't that bright. You got to be
Wouldn't be
even
the first
beyond the
man I-
Uncle. You got to be even beyond the Uncle Carl level of intellect to be able to do that.
Wouldn't
And
be
I
the
don't
first
think
man I
anybody's
hurt.
managed it so far.
Oh, well, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say goodnight, everybody.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna say go good guys.
Time to say goodnight, Gracie.
Thank
Good
you
night,
very
everybody.
much, folks, for being here. Thank you for everybody that's been in the comments, whether we have flashed up on screen or not. You have made a valuable contribution to the show.
Except for
And-
that last joke, Carrie.
That one would have been better in person, Carrie. It really would.
I don't think so.
Definite coal in your stocking, Carrie. Okay.
He's going to get an entire mine. Um,
There would be more groans than them having to go back and get a bunch of dimes for the Governor of Epitome Toll Road booth.
Thank you very much, folks. It's Thursday. We will see
Nope,
some of you in the
it's Friday
green
now.
room. Shut up, John.
Still Thursday here.
No Thursday here.
We will see you in the green room tomorrow night. We will see you, hopefully, stupid o'clock and Last Man Standing on Saturday. And John, you can talk now. I don't care. Bye bye. And
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
remember always that we care about you, each and every one of you. And good night.
Except for that guy at the ferret. He's kind of weird.
I am not.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. 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 System will shut down.